Welcome back to the Shortcut Live. This is our daily live video show. I'm still in San Francisco. It's Super Bowl week here, Super Bowl Media Week, and we're going to show you some of the highlights of the behind the scenes at the Super Bowl. We went with Sony on a tour of Levi Stadium, but first I am joined with our crew in New York City. We got Max Bondano and Kevin Lee holding down the fort at Swider Studios, and they are live as well. How's it going, guys?
We're still here, and we're still freezing cold while you're out in San Francisco.
I need to take off the jacket. It's getting a little toasty in here. I'm
you
sorry.
Made this joke yesterday, and I don't appreciate that you've made it twice in a row.
And you know what? There's
Heaven and I
tons
are freezing to death, but it's okay. We know you have to preserve money, so you turned off the heat in here, and that's okay.
I mean, yeah, how do you think I'm paying for all those dollars for all the comments? That anytime someone comments, these guys allegedly get $1. So yeah, that's how I'm paying for it, is just cut off the heat, cut off the water supply. Good luck flushing the toilets at the studio.
Gross.
Yes. Yeah.
The toilets don't work. The toilets don't work at Swider Studios.
It's gross for you, not for me, because I'm not there.
Yeah.
So. But we have an entire show for you today. Like I said, behind the scenes action at the Super Bowl, kind of the tech powering Super Bowl 60, which is very cool. And I got to check that out 2 days ago, and now I can bring you that information. We also have a new Insta 360 selfie screen. That's totally cool. We've been testing that out. I may have it with me. And new Nintendo Switch 2 games, some iPhone Fold rumors, NVIDIA doing some really cool stuff. It's the anniversary of GeForce Now, 6 years. It is unbelievable. And a little bit of Steam Machine news. So tons more about consumer technology, basically anything you buy in a Best Buy and it gets announced before it hits the stores, we're going to tell you about. We're streaming on X. We're streaming on Substack, on Instagram, on YouTube. So we're coming to you live daily at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. We're on both coasts this time, but I'll be back in the office next week. So guys, first part of the show, Super Bowl 60 is happening on Sunday. We've been going over the best TVs you can get, but what's powering the game is a lot of Sony technology. They're the official sponsor for a lot of the gear out there. They're not the TV sponsor, but the audio and cameras, they have that. TCL has the TV sponsorship, but they invited me out there. It's not a sponsored segment, FYI, but they did invite us while I'm out here to see the behind the scenes. We have a little video of that that we're going to roll. And yeah, I got to go to Levi Stadium, which was cool. You can see it here. So you'll see this on Instagram as well, but I got to go behind the scenes. There's proof of life that I'm alive in San Francisco at the stadium. There's the entrance. A lot of security here. That's a big deal. But we got to go see basically how they're powering the show is not even inside the stadium, but it's these mobile trucks here. And this is where they have tons of wires, like countless number of wires. You see the Sunday Night Football logo there. Wow. So they're doing all this stuff. All this gear is inside these mobile trucks.
Wow.
And that's how they produce the game every week, multiple times a week, depending on the channel. But for the Super Bowl, they roll out all the gear, and it's super interesting to get behind the scenes. One of the coolest things you'll see is this unit right here. This is a truck entirely dedicated to color grading live. Like, we think of color grading as you're doing it in post. They have to do it live, where you'll see like the colors switch on the screen, because if a cloud comes over top of a player during an interview or like sideline interview, they have to do that on the fly. Super cool technology. Wow. Fun to see. And they were just letting us touch all the buttons and sliders. So you see anything messed up at Super Bowl 60, that was probably me. I probably touched one too many buttons. And this guy there's a team here, but this guy was like manning the controls. And there's, of course, the Eagles championship flag right there from last year. Exactly. I had to zoom in on that one.
So
and so the stuff that Sony's powering, they have a by the numbers sheet they send over, which is very, very cool. Let's see, pull that up. Super Bowl 60, here it is. By the numbers, it's over 100 cameras, Sony HDC series system cameras. There's 18 more cameras, so they have 37 of those. 18 more point of view cameras, 5 Sony cinema cameras, probably more advanced than the ones we use, but we like a good Sony cinema camera. The PTZ cameras that kind of like are on that swivel, they look like really large advanced webcams, but they're way more advanced. So they got 2 of those. And then all these aerial specialty cameras like the Skycam type of thing. That is very cool. They got 3 of those. They have even more cameras for the halftime show. So additional cameras, 11 of these digital cinema cameras, and just a lot of gear. What was interesting is they do partner with other camera companies. So I spotted a Canon lens or Canon logo on something, and Sony was quick to point out, no, we still power the camera, but Canon just happens to make the lens. So they are powering all the cameras. Yeah.
So
I found
like
that interesting.
Probably.
It's a collaboration, they said, which is fascinating. So they're not afraid to take the best of both worlds there. So definitely a cool little slide about, the pro support that they lend to the NFL and the Super Bowl. They still make lenses. There's 105 professional lenses from Sony, 55 full frame cameras. So there are so many cameras, so many wires behind the scenes. And you'll actually, our second video, you'll see some of the behind the scenes of the camera footage. So this is the pregame show where it happens. I got to kind of invade that territory. Right. It's not super neat. And like tons of ladders. There's the field and there's the Sony camera. Right. And that is pointed directly at the field. So that's the perspective you're getting when they zoom in on those shots with those huge lenses. And I'm sorry. That's my fault. I didn't mean to.
How did I get in there?
So embarrassing.
And the
Look at that burger.
I'll go to Shake Shack. See ya.
So there's the Skycam right there. These are the monitors. So the other thing I got to test out was the headset. Max, we tested this out at a pregame event that we went to. So here's the headset. It is a lot like an advanced version of the headset that we use, the XM6. Exactly. And it's made for the professional sense of like has to drown out the crowd noise. That is a huge thing. They took the sponsorship over or the tech over from Bose a couple years ago. They had it and they made an even more agile, more durable headset for the coaches. So this is the one that they'll use. I tested it out. I was like, guys, it's good to go. It's Super Bowl ready. They were waiting on approval. You know what? It was a close call, but I tested it out and I was like, yeah, they were seeking my approval. I don't know why.
Wow.
But yeah, super cool, very durable. The noise cancellation is designed. It's like bespoke for stadiums. And that's pretty cool. So it was fun to kind of sit in this instant replay booth where this one is actually the medical unit where they're zooming in and trying to determine if like someone has an injury on a moment's notice. Okay. There's also the instant replay booth where it's like where there's a close call that doesn't go to the New York arena where they make those determinations. So definitely a fun time testing out the headset. It has to be durable enough to survive the snow. Obviously no snow here, but when they're playing in Chicago and there's like, a snowstorm happening, they still need that to function at 100%. And it was tons of fun to sit in that booth and test out this advanced headset. Obviously there's only one ear cup in there because they need to know what's happening on the field.
Right.
And yeah, so definitely a fun time going through the headset. Oh, there's an Xbox controller, which I found very interesting. Like everything was Sony except for the chief rival, but like there's a touch screen here where they can just like pan and zoom. It's almost like an iOS type of thing where they're flipping through the screen and there's the Xbox controller. So they have the option of using a touch screen or a controller, which obviously this generation of producers grew up playing games and grew up playing Call of Duty. So it's actually pretty natural to use that.
That's kind of genius to use a controller like that to manage like each camera angle and stuff and zoom in, punch in and stuff like that. That's so fascinating.
You could do it on the fly. And it was just really cool to see the 49ers stadium, Levi Stadium, where they play. And the behind the scenes was an awesome opportunity. I got to go to some other events with like there's just tons of events during Media Week. So we got to get out here next year. Max, I promise to try to bring you along next time.
try. You could have this time.
You tried this year.
The thing is, he could have. This is my big issue with Matt Swider now. I had issues before, but now they're all gone because this is my only one.
Oh,
he dangled this opportunity in front of me. He's like, Max, I'm going to, like, Sony wants me to come out to the stadium and, you know, sort of tour the whole thing. They're going to give me behind the scenes scoop on all the tech and stuff that's going to be used. I'm like, okay, great. Do I get to come? He's like, yeah, you can come on your own accord. I'm like, no. I want to, the company can pay, right? And he's like, all right, you know what? Let me just price it out first. Let me see if it makes sense. I'm like,
no,
okay,
I don't remember this part.
I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. The next day, he's like, I may have already booked a ticket for myself. I'm like,
I booked it right away.
Come on, booked it right away. Doesn't even
With
think
points.
about his favorite employee.
With
How dare you?
points.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure you had enough points left over for me, Matthew.
Well, you know what? When we go out to Mobile World Congress, I'm going to be sure to book you a Delta flight so you rack up the right points and not on a JetBlue flight where it just goes into a void.
Okay, you're forgiven. That's fine. I'll take the
There we
points.
go.
All right, that's enough. Okay, I
So
am very jealous of what an incredible tour to go on.
It was fun. And again, that's not a sponsored piece. It just Sony was like, if you're going to be in town, come to this. So that's the only thing they were providing. So like, yeah, not a commercial segment, but a really cool behind the scenes tech segment for the live show. And we're producing an Instagram video right before the Super Bowl, just to, you know, add to the layer of coverage out there, because Super Bowl is like, it's just amazing. It reminded me of when we went to CES and we got early access to CES and we were able to kind of see the building of CES, because the build out is fascinating, because we usually go there to CES and everything's set up and we're like, take it for granted, 4 days there and everything's already, you know, ready to go. Yeah. Seeing the build out 2 days prior and then work 24/7. It was kind of like that, where I'm seeing a lot of ladders, trucks, just huge uplift to get Levi Stadium for just, you know, a game that doesn't last more than a couple hours.
But it's one of the most monumental like days of the year for any sports fan on like around the globe at this point.
100%. And
so I've been to Gator Stadium in Florida, and like everything was internal. So it's interesting to see like all these trucks. Is like Levi Stadium small?
No, it's pretty big. It replaced Candlestick Park from back in the day, for anybody who remembers that prior 49ers stadium. And it is, I would say, just, I think the mobile aspect of it is you sometimes have NBC doing it. You sometimes have Fox, CBS. So maybe that's a good part of it, where it can be any network handling, you know, an NFL, you know, playoff game versus like, because they always switch out. So maybe that's a part of it. One of the things I want to highlight, and I'll highlight in my Instagram video, is, and I think it just happened so fast on that B-roll that we had, but there's a giant wall of wires and then a warning, wireless technology is around you. And I'm like, are you sure? Because everything is fully wired. There's just like a nest of wires. And that sign was right there. So tons of wires, and they're all coming out of the stadium and powering those mobile trucks. So fascinating to see just how they produce the game off-site. And there's tons of, the thing, Kevin, is there's tons of stuff happening in the stadium, but those are permanent fixtures, like the instant replay booth, the sky cam, stuff like that. So
I see.
Really cool opening segment.
We got some comments also.
Oh, good.
One from Joe Bondano.
Of course,
zero relation to me.
Oh, I guess I have to.
Oh, my fans want me to go next time, Matt.
Oh, yes,
I should be there. Thank you.
Yes,
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
What does kind of agree mean?
You know, we're gonna get you those Delta points. That's what it is.
All right. I'll take the points. It's fine. Okay.
Right.
It's gonna take you to LA, which I think is where it goes next. But
yes, next year.
He won't actually get you into the game.
Good call out. Yeah, I'm not going to the game, guys. That is a ticket that I do not have. I do not punch my card there, but we will be checking out other activations tonight by other brands, tech brands. So definitely a fun time, and I'll be coming back tomorrow night into Saturday, taking a red eye back to watch the game.
Nice.
Very exciting.
You also had one comment that said Delta One for the win, I think.
Absolutely. Delta One
Yes.
is the way
Yeah,
to
that's
go.
it. Yep.
Boom in the
Delta One.
sky. There we go. It's almost like Adam knows us, and
Yes.
sometimes we get upgraded together on those Delta One
Oh,
flights.
yeah.
Sometimes.
Sick.
So Adam
A Delta
Weissman
One
of
dinner.
Anchor. We got to get Adam on the show.
Mhm.
Sure.
We should.
Right?
Yeah.
That was a discussion that we had.
Yes.
And there was a lot of debate. Do we actually do this? There's a debate in Slack. And yeah, we got to make that happen.
Absolutely.
So, Adam, come on the show very, very soon. Anytime you're in New York as well, come in person to our studio, and we will host you in person, show off some cool Anchor tech. But yeah, that was Sony. And that was a great opportunity to kind of see behind the scenes of the technology, because they power a lot of the TVs that we watch and we review. But it's like, all right, you have this lens to living room marketing campaign. Let's see it in action from a different perspective, where it's not the living room, where it's actually you're using the lenses to capture the game. So tons of interesting things there, and on theshortcut.com, the #1 consumer tech site on Substack. Subscribe to us if you want to support our Substack and our tech media venture here at a time where we're changing formats, and live video is part of it.
He says he's insulted.
Adam says he's insulted.
Oh, no, there was a debate.
Adam.
No, Adam, hey, let me reset the table. There was a debate on how quickly we want you on the show, now or very, very soon. That was the debate.
Wow. Professional glazer Matt Swider.
Oh, that's a new one. All right, Glazer, sure.
Yeah.
Lot of nicknames. All right.
He doesn't know Gen Z slang, and that's okay. That's why I'm here.
No. I mog you all the time. So come on.
Oh my god.
Oh,
You say Mog one more time, I am going to quit. I think that's my.
that's
my
all
limit.
it takes.
That's my limit. That's my limit. Yeah. And I'm not doing
Mogging.
All right, see you guys.
There it is. He's on. He's leaving the building.
Bye. There's no place like mogging. There's no place like yeah. So all right. Insta360 is the next thing on the rundown, because we only have an hour here, and that Sony thing was really cool. We took up 20 minutes doing that. But Insta360 selfie screen.
Yeah.
Kevin, we've been tracking this because we love this technology.
Yes.
This is it, right?
We've been waiting for someone to do it right.
Yes, because there's a lot of no-name brands, especially on TikTok, that are selling something like this, right? Actually, they usually don't have this little flap cover, but Insta360 is a brand that we know. We're like, okay, someone legitimate is doing one of these screens, which is really important. They partnered with a company, was it Amiro? And they basically allow you to plug in. I'm using my phone as the camera source in the hotel, so you'll have to bear with me because this doesn't have MagSafe, but the Insta360 screen does, and it basically allows you to plug in via USB-C and see your rear camera, right, Kevin?
Yeah. So it's literally for like if you want to like style yourself or position yourself better. This is for the selfie queens and kings.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's got so unlike other ones, it's fully wired. It's not wireless. Also works with Android or iOS. It's a selfie screen that doesn't suck because it's wired. Yeah. And so one thing is there is no touch screen, and it also doesn't quite show the full scale of your phone. So it's gonna be a little cropped in, but that actually might work in your favor, because if you were like too close, then you have a little more breathing room to edit. It also has, so that flap doesn't come off, but it does cover this touch screen, your actual phone screen. So it kind of is helpful. To take a photo, you also have to use your volume buttons while you're looking at yourself with the rear screen. And also it has a ring light built in, has 3 levels of adjustment, brightness adjustment, and also does like warm or cool color. It's pretty
Very
sick.
cool. Yeah, a lot of people probably want wireless, and I'm going to tell you, if you buy this one, if you buy a different one, get wired, right? It sounds like, why would I do that? Because wireless seems easier. But if you're going to a convention or going anywhere, the connectivity issues with Bluetooth, we see this in a lot of tripods that have the little attachment, the little button that allow you to snap a photo with Bluetooth. Those always lose connectivity. So every time you're like, oh, I'm going to snap a quick selfie, here's this little remote this Bluetooth remote, it always doesn't have the connection. So you spend more time trying to configure that than you would just trying to snap that selfie. So same thing here. If it's a wireless one of these screens, very similar, that from a no-name brand, you're going to have a lot of trouble with it. Outside of doing it one time, once you pair it, lose connectivity. So I appreciate the fact that it's USB-C and it just like hangs off the phone, and if it's a MagSafe phone, it just clips to the back of it. And this flap is interesting. I haven't seen other people do this flap where it covers the screen, so it protects the screen, but then it kind of it covers this remote screen, this Insta360 screen, and so then it covers your screen on the phone.
One other thing is there is a magnet built into that, so it helps keep the cable tucked away when you have it, just on its own.
Okay.
If you flip that back over, put the cable right on there. Yeah. Keeps it nice and tucked onto it.
Nice. You see that. It is a cool device. Is this a prototype that they sent us?
No. That's the full market model coming out. I am looking for the price.
Really quick. Please. I think this one might be a prototype. I'm just looking at it. I see a sticker. There's a sticker for Insta360 on it. I don't think the final version will be a sticker. Just putting that out there. Just a theory, but I'm glad we got early access to it because I have been taking selfies. The rear camera just has more detail than any selfie camera. Yeah. So it's been interesting. I also, when someone's taking a video of you as someone in the content creation field, if Kevin's taking a video of me and I don't have to go to him, oh, you chopped off my head, which he loves to do, right? He says he loves to do that too. And I can just be like, oh, I'm out of frame. Or I know if I'm moving how to stay in frame because I have a screen that's attached to the back of the phone. So very interesting. It just basically mirrors your screen. You will see the camera controls, which is kind of a con to all of these because you don't want to see that shutter button, as you just want to see the output of what's on video or in the photo, but it's just basically mirroring your screen. Helpful. And I'm just glad a notable brand is doing. I think the only other notable brand is Small Rig. They have one, but we haven't tested that one out. This one's from Insta360 and it came to us first. So thank you Insta360 for sending your Snap selfie screen, and we'll try to test the other brands that are making these. So
the price is $89 for the one with the ring light. It's $79 without the ring light.
And which one do we have? Do we have the one?
We have the ring light one.
Ring light one. Okay, I see the outside of it. Again, I've been testing it on my iPhone. Very interesting. It's a good price because that's competitive with what I see on Amazon from the other brands. And this one, again, is wired. You want the wired version. So any tech advice out there that we can give you, it's going to be something like that, where it's like, do buy this, don't buy that. And the don't buy that goes to those wireless versions that just don't really work very well. I've ordered those versions and I've sent them back just because of that connectivity issue. So that's a good price. Super happy with that. We're going to continue testing it out. Go to theshortcut.com, the #1 consumer tech site on Substack, and we will definitely continue with these reviews of these, phone accessories that we love and sometimes don't love. So this one falls into the love category. Very cool. All right. Speaking of things that we love, Nintendo Switch 2 has some new announcements. There was a Nintendo Switch Direct or Nintendo Direct. So this focused on third-party games, and there's one from a company called Microsoft that is making a Switch 2 game. So the fact that the maker of Xbox, an exclusive game that came to, the PS5 and Xbox before it, is now coming to Switch 2 on May 12th. Kevin, tell us about this game and what you spied in today's Nintendo Direct.
Yes, it's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This is like a very highly rated, looks fantastic. The gameplay is great. You punch a bunch of Nazis, which is always great. It's coming out May 12th. And it looks fantastic. Like, I didn't expect this game to look so good on handheld, but Switch 2 has a lot of power, has their NVIDIA's DLSS and upscaling technology. and ray tracing, of course.
Wow.
Yeah. So I can't wait to play this on handheld, and it gives me even more reason for Xbox and PlayStation to make a handheld sooner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we in the previous show we had tons of rumors about the handheld ambitions that Sony has, and lots of rumors out there for a PlayStation Portable 2. If you search in Google PSP2, you'll find the shortcuts top ranked article right at the top about those rumors. But yeah, having this kind of demonstrates the power that the Switch 2 actually has. I know it's not quite up to the par of like a PS5 Pro, but the fact that it can do Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a testament to that NVIDIA GPU and the power that they have.
Yeah.
So very cool. What else? What else is coming out? Yeah.
There's even more Bethesda games coming to Switch, including Fallout 4 and wait, I totally lost my face. Okay, Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition and Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. So Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition is coming out February 24th. Elder Scrolls 6 Oblivion Remastered is coming out later in 2026. They haven't said exactly when. So plenty of Microsoft games coming out beyond even PS5 now to Switch. And then there was one more game.
Yeah, tell us about this. Is this Orbitals?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a Switch 2 exclusive game. It looks like a 90s anime. Kind of looks like Starship Nadesco or Martian successor Nadesco. It looks crazy because this anime style is not just in the cutscenes. This is the way the game looks throughout the whole thing. It's a 2D co-op platformer, kind of like It Takes Two or Split Fiction. You have to like work together to get through a level and traverse things. You have like different power-ups. You have backpacks with like grappling claws or a fire gun, or there's also a liquid launcher which just shoots water, but it kind of does more than you would expect. It like can turn a turbine, it can make a plant grow, it can cool down the surface. Yeah. These are all the equipment. This is how the gameplay looks.
Okay. Next item on the list, because that's the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. Always love covering that because we know a lot of the followers have a Switch 2 that they got on day one back in June. And, quickly coming up to 1 year anniversary, a lot of good Switch 2 games. But let's go to something that isn't out yet. And
I think we have a comment real quick from from our friend Adam. I'm curious if each of you could only choose one gaming platform, what would you choose? Can be historical like Nintendo to current, portable, or what you're looking forward to.
I got one in mind, but you guys go first.
I have mine. It is just the Nintendo Wii. That is my favorite gaming platform because I don't play video games.
I know you don't.
That's my answer.
You play a lot of Mario Tennis or what's it called? Sports? Wii Sports?
Wii Sports.
Yeah.
It's bowling. I'm very good at bowling and baseball. That's what I do.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is my preferred all the way. If I could get a Nintendo Wii that could output to 4K, I'd be the happiest guy on the planet.
Kevin, what do you got?
Kind of do that, but it's kind of illegal. We'll see.
Kevin is our illegal expert and senior correspondent of everything contraband.
Yes. I work in the dark web. I live in the dark web. My preferred platform is actually PC because I love maximum ray tracing, maximum FPS, and the only way you do that is just buy a lot of hardware and throw as much GPU horsepower at it as you can.
Fair. My favorite old platform is N64, the Nintendo 64. There was something about that entrance into 3D gaming when you're a child that just captured my attention. And it wasn't so advanced where, on later consoles, it got way more, there was a lot of textures and everything. It got way more complicated. It was before things got complicated, in my opinion. Like I loved that first Splinter Cell game that came out for later consoles, but it was also, I don't want to say confusing, but there was just so much depth to it. And there's something with the nostalgia of N64 where, yes, it was 3D, but there was only one path to go, basically, and you were kind of discovering new worlds, but in a limited sense. I liked that. My second favorite one, if I can pick a second one, is Switch, or not Switch. I love the Switch. I think the PS3 era and also Xbox 360, that was when I first started getting like all the games and consoles for Gaming Target back in the day,
Mhm.
and I just had access to so many great games from that era, and there were a lot of really good games out there. There's like a Jet Li game that used the analog stick for the first time, where it's like
Mhm.
on a 360 rotation, where you flip the right analog stick because you're using the left one to control the character, and he would throw like a kick or a punch in that direction. So like a lot of games that people missed out on because there were so many games, which is not a bad thing. If we flip
got a
back to that comment,
comment.
yeah, go ahead. Oh, Caleb Dennison, if it doesn't play Oregon Trail, I'm not interested. Just kidding. Hi, fellas. Well, check out Caleb Rated. That is his channel, his new
YouTube
channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we love, and we love the fact that you're on Substack and joining us through Substack. He says, "Sorry, I missed the Super Bowl behind the scenes discussion. You could always rewind, but I'm sure it was awesome. Will you guys be watching? And do you have a preferred way to watch for the best video quality and HDR experience?" That is a
Oof.
Caleb Rated
Question.
If I ever saw one, which
Absolutely.
he gets into the detail. And if you just go follow his YouTube on Caleb Rated right there, because you will learn stuff. I always learn stuff. I really appreciated his analysis of Sony buying, or Sony and TCL's partnership, and what that meant. It just meant Sony's not going away. They're just tapping TCL as a partner, 51%, 49%. It was level-headed analysis, which I feel like we need in media, versus like the drama of, is Sony going away tomorrow? ? And it's like, no, but they're going to tease that out. So anyways, Caleb, thank you. I will definitely rewind. He says, thanks for the shout out and reading the question. Of course. Guys, what are you going to, what's your usual TV? Let's start with Max, because you have two TVs, both Sony. So tell us what you have, what you love about them.
So I've got the Bravia 8 Mark II in my living room. And I have a Bravia 5 mini LED in the bedroom. Both 4K, both 65 inches. I would love to watch the Super Bowl on my Bravia 8 Mark II. It's OLED. It's very beautiful. I will be going down to my mom's house for the Super Bowl, and she has a LG something that I bought her a couple of years ago. 65 inches 4K, but I think it's just like regular LED. So I'm going to hopefully be able to stream it in 4K, I think through Peacock. It has HDR too. So I think Peacock is doing 4K HDR, just like upscaling the 1080p broadcast or whatever they usually do, because they never capture it in 4K for whatever reason. That's my plan. I'm gonna try it. Hopefully it works out. I don't know if my internet's going to be able to handle it down there, but we will see. But that's my plan. I would love to watch on the Bravia, but I've got that, so it should be pretty good. How about you guys?
I love you name the model after going through the specific models of the Sony TVs. The LG something, right?
Yeah, I have no idea what model it is. I have zero clue. Like it was whatever was on sale. It was like $600 at Best Buy at some point. And I was like, okay, this is good enough.
So I couldn't explain it until someone told me maybe several years ago. It was I'm like, why are these TVs so inexpensive? It's always Samsung, LG, which make, and Sony, they make top of the line TVs, but then they go down to $600 for Black Friday. And someone said, no, you don't understand. They make those TVs specifically for Black Friday and like events like that, because it's the name brands, but it's not the flagship models, but it's someone who would never buy the C5, the C6, whatever, right?
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, I'm getting a Sony, an LG, a Samsung TV, and it's within my budget of not $1,000 or $2,000. It's $600 during Black Friday. Boom, I'm signed up. So I think those TVs are built for those sales, which is very interesting. Maybe you'll get the HDR, maybe you won't. It's on a different level. But yeah, I am using one of the flagships of the more affordable TVs, which is a TCL TV, the QM 8K or 8, right? And it is a 4K TV. It is 98 inches. I watched the Super Bowl on it last year.
Watch our birds win.
Exactly. I felt like I brought them luck by having that TCL TV.
Absolutely.
But it was a fun time. But yeah, I'm planning to watch it on that. Kevin, what do you got?
I have a top of the line Samsung S95C. It's a little old, but still the best OLED they have. Yeah.
Are they up to like the 95F this year,
Yeah.
right? Is that
Yeah.
coming out? We saw that at CES.
Yes.
And that's like a couple TVs ago. The
Well,
C
actually,
is great.
it's S95H is the new one that's coming out. Yeah.
H. Okay.
Yeah. They skip a couple letters.
They do often skip. I mean,
Yeah.
did they have the F or was that a previous year?
F is the last year's model, 2025. Yeah. And then we got another comment.
Yeah, Caleb. All right, I've compared the YouTube TV to over the air broadcast to Hulu and this year's Peacock, which I have not compared. YouTube was the most consistent in the past, but not the best HDR. Should be available in Dolby Vision this year. I will say
I don't think so.
They usually don't. And kind of going back to the beginning of Caleb's comment, over the air, I kind of want his take on this. We have to have Caleb on because he's such an expert at this. But last year I tried over the air because I'm like, I remember this being the free way to get the maximum picture quality, 10 years ago. So I bought the rabbit ears, the advanced rabbit ears that they
the digital
sell these days.
antenna. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was so disappointed in the quality.
Oh yeah.
Right. Just because they limit it to like, I don't know if it's 1080i or 720p. They've made no investment over the last decade since I started using the rabbit ear. So like using it again, I switched on Tubi because it was hosted by Fox and it was either commercial free or not commercial free. It was free to stream on Tubi, and the quality was better over the internet. So I'm like, maybe the rabbit ears over the air is not good, at least in New York City.
That's because I think, over the air, they did that HD upgrade, like when we were like in high school or something like that.
Yeah.
Or college. And then they never did the 4K. So technically what you're watching is a 1080p picture. Yeah. So even like over the air, even streaming like 4K signal is better. Yeah.
It's always upscaled to some extent. And I think it is just 1080i over.
I think it's 1080i.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it's limited to. Like if the very best you can get over the air is 1080i, which sucks.
Yeah.
Right. And back in the day, it was the way to get uncompressed. But at the time, 1080i, pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Uncompressed.
That's because TVs were 1080. Yeah.
Yeah. And it worked. And blowing that up on a 4K TCL TV, it just didn't have the same mystique as 10 years ago. So anybody who's looking to upgrade to the rabbit ears, because I thought that was a good idea, it's not quite as good as you may remember. So, but yeah, we have to have Caleb on maybe tomorrow. That would be a great guest to have on right before the Super Bowl happens if he's available.
Do we have to wear football jerseys? Which I do not own a single one.
You just signed up for it. How fast does Amazon deliver, Kevin?
Okay, I'm gonna find the most bullshit team I could possibly find, like the I don't know, Springfield spammers.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I got one in mind for you, Kevin. Don't worry. Don't worry. Right. You know what? Because I won't be back. Let's wear some jerseys on Monday. Yeah, I'll give you some extra time for that Amazon delivery.
All right. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some ideas.
Okay.
Anyways. Okay. Right, because like we'll be waking up. I guess we'll be some of us will be in the studio. Some of us who aren't hungover from watching the big game, as they call it. Fun fact: companies that aren't associated and official licensed sponsors and partners of the NFL have to call it not the Super Bowl, but the big game. So that's always a fun fact. You'll see that on like I don't know the marketing campaigns of grocery stores trying to sell you like Tostitos. They can't call it the Super Bowl on their signage because it's a licensed thing, and they sometimes get in trouble for that unless they tiptoe around it or just don't care. But they can get sued for calling it the Super Bowl instead of the big game. You'll see that on radio ads as well. So you'll hear that.
Exactly.
So, anyways, very cool fun fact. All right. So we broke in there for comments. We welcome the comments. Caleb, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the guys have invented a game where every time we get a comment,
it's not a game, it's just the fact of our contract.
He keeps like downplaying the significance of this deal that we have.
Yes.
Also, guests get $1, by the way, Caleb. So keep them coming.
No.
Okay,
once every.
I want the money. What is that?
I'm not saying this is a thing. But if I did the payout, it is once every 200 years. So hang on, guys, hang on.
All right.
We're rolling.
My children's
You're-
children get this money.
Yeah.
Generational
100
wealth. That's what we're building
Yeah.
here on the Shortcut Live.
Yeah.
Only 199 years ago. All right. There you go. Mhm.
Love it.
All right,
Okay.
Max, take this story. The iPhone Fold. It feels like every day there's a new iPhone Fold rumor, whether it's called the iFold or iPhone Fold. This one's about the glass, and we recall that when Adam was on the live video show, he was saying that is the one thing he doesn't want, the crease. It's the one thing he wants if Apple is coming out with a foldable phone. It sounds like they are in September.
Yeah.
Tell us the latest about this new report about the display glass.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of talk about what Apple's going to do with the display glass, because they're rumored to get rid of the crease entirely right in the middle of the foldable display. Obviously, that comes with durability concerns, because if you want to have a flexible screen, you need that outer layer to be flexible enough. It can't be hard glass like we have on our phones that are like super resistant to scratches and fingerprints, what have you, and cracking. These are much more delicate screens, so there's been a lot of attention on what Apple could do in this space to increase the durability, and try to like one of their competitors. That's exactly what it seems like they're going to do. According to the Elect out of Korea, Apple's right now considering two different types of cover glass. I'm going to completely butcher whatever these things are called. There's one called polyethylene,
Polyethylene, yeah.
polyethylene terephthalate,
Okay.
something like that. They abbreviated PET, so we're going to call it
Okay.
PET.
Yeah.
And there's one called clear polyamide, polyamide, something like that.
This,
Yeah, that's
this
what
is
I
why that's why we gave Max this story.
It's just me saying a bunch of BS stuff.
He drew the short straw. So
yes, I did. So there's a PET and CPI. PET is less durable. It's a lot more flexible. It's very thin. It's clear and all that stuff. It's what the Galaxy Z series uses. So it's available on the Z Fold and the Z Flip devices. CPI is the more durable one. It's a lot more expensive to produce. So a lot of companies just tried to like sort of stay away from it to reduce costs. I mean, Samsung poured a lot of R&D into the latest Galaxy Z Fold 7. So I get why they wouldn't go with it. Apple doesn't care. They're just going to charge $2,500 for this thing. So like, we're going to use CPI. So right now it looks like they're going to use the more durable version. That's supposed to reduce fingerprints, reduce your chances of scratching it, reduce your chances of cracking it. I don't know that we've tested a phone with the CPI foldable glass before. I have to go back and double check some of the phones that we've reviewed, but it looks like that's what they're going to stick with. Look, anything to one up the competitors. I mean, everybody's going to buy this phone anyway because it's the first foldable iPhone.
Absolutely.
But I think this more durable glass will probably be like a pretty big draw for people, right? Because I think one of the biggest concerns is durability with foldables.
Right. And even if they had a slight crease in there, which it sounds like they won't, it's all about having iMessage on a foldable device for the first time, right? Barring any blue bubbles type of workaround that exists out there for Android phones that is a little sketchy.
Right.
I am super interested in seeing how that early adopter iPhone audience, which usually buys the phone I'm streaming on right now, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, this may be the last iPhone Pro that I ever use, which is, it's like top of the line. There's going to be something to supersede it, and it's going to be expensive. Max, you were quoting some analysts that expect it to be around $2,200, $2,300 for an iPhone Fold. Is that right?
Yeah, it's going to ballpark somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500. I don't know if there's going to be another storage here or anything like that, so the price could go up even more if you increase the storage. So this could be like a $3,000 phone. I imagine for some people it will, because they'll want to use this thing for 4 to 5 years, and you're going to need the extra space if you're a power user, which we expect a lot of these early customers to be. But yeah, this is going to be a very expensive phone. So I feel like it makes a lot of sense for Apple to go all in on the display glass to make sure you're getting just the most bang for your buck, whatever that means for buying the first iPhone Fold.
For an iPhone, it means not paying full price, but 1 penny less, because it'll be like something and 99 cents.
So it'll be $2,499.99.
And you're like, I'm saving that penny that's discontinued. So
exactly.
That's a deal in the Apple world. When
It's
something
technically closer to $2,000 than $3,000. Just psychologically, be like, it's a couple
right.
grand. What's that? You know?
Exactly. No, but I'm looking forward to it. I feel like this early on, there's a lot of people who doubted, like in the comments. A lot of times they're like, "I will believe there's an iPhone Fold when I see it." It sounds like we're in early February. The drumbeat to these iPhone Fold rumors this early, at this pace.
It's you know what? It's
gotta happen.
it's been very frequent for like the past 3 to 4 months. There's been a
Yes.
lot of build up to this phone over the past few years. And then just like middle of last year, everybody started saying, "Oh, it's going to come out fall 2026." Like all the rumor sources that we were tracking, that seems to be the date. And
Yeah.
right now, I see nothing that contradicts that.
Mhm.
So I think we're in for an iPhone Fold this September.
Yeah, it has to happen. The iPhone, despite selling really, really well, especially in the 17 series, just needs a kick. And I think this is going to do it. Will they save it for next year, which is, I guess 2 years from now, so it'll be the anniversary. I don't think they can wait that long.
Yeah.
Right?
No. And there's a whole separate project for the 20th anniversary iPhone. It's going to be somewhat similar to how they introduced the iPhone 10 on the 10th anniversary, where they introduced
Yes.
completely new design and everything like that. The 20th anniversary isn't going to fold. It's probably going to be whatever this all glass slab that Apple's reportedly been dreaming of for the past few years. It'll have like zero bezels on the display, probably no ports. There could be no buttons. There's like a lot of like insane predictions for this thing. Nobody really knows what it's going to look like yet. That
Right.
should be coming out next year in September.
Okay.
But it's probably not going to fold. They're going to save all the folding stuff for like its own separate category, sort of like the Pro lineup. So this will just be like a special edition phone, and probably introduce some new design that they'll use 2028 and beyond.
Yeah.
I am anti ports. I don't
like
want
ports.
USB-C to go away.
No,
Yeah.
I like ports.
I
I
get
like
same.
them too. It's just it seems like maybe they'll get rid of them. We'll have to find out.
Man,
I mean,
it'll be
wireless
over
charging has
years.
gotten faster, but not that much faster. Yeah, if it's like MagSafe,
Yeah.
I still want USB-C, but
It'd be nice to just plug your phone into like transfer files. We're
Yeah.
those kinds of people. Maybe the people that buy the 20th anniversary iPhone aren't those people. I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe the wireless charging gets that quick, but it's also the ubiquity of having USB-C anywhere because it's used by other phones. But yeah, I'm super curious.
Laptops, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have tons of USB-C cords for that reason. It's near universal these days, and even having the Apple Watch charger and the MagSafe. Sometimes I'm like, if that was USB-C, I could plug it into my phone or a light source that's coming from my right. So yeah. Next on the rundown, because speeding ahead, I know we have about 10, 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
The NVIDIA GeForce Now
6-year
platform,
anniversary.
6 years old. So we're going to give that a shout out because that is something that is built to be the Netflix of video games, where it's like an all-you-can-eat subscription service. So 6 years.
old.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Good job.
It's come a long way.
NVIDIA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kevin, tell us about this. It started like all this stuff like Google Stadia, which has been discontinued, started out a little bit shaky because it's experimental, but I think 6 years ago, internet speeds weren't quite what they are now. Now the technology has advanced. Where is it at now, and where do you see it going?
Yeah. Now you can stream at 4K, 120 FPS. You can stream up to 6K. And the quality has only gotten better now that NVIDIA is like unlocked ray tracing. It's got the cinematic streaming mode where it basically takes out the glitches and the artifacts from streaming, makes it look smoother, more reactive. Yeah. It's also kind of predictive. It'll think of where you're going next and make that lag feel a little less prominent. So it's only going to get better. And we have already said in our review, better than PS5 and arguably better than the price, because a full year is already cheaper than buying a PS5 Pro and you get better graphics quality.
That makes sense. And I think that is maybe the future of gaming for a lot of people, especially if you're streaming from a Mac or your TV and you don't feel like upgrading the hardware every single time. With a Mac, being out here using a computer that's not very gaming capable, you just streaming and having the resources be located off-site with NVIDIA's technology makes a lot of sense. So I can have a thinner laptop design, even like a MacBook Air would be able to power that gaming rig instead of having a giant, we love MSI computers, but those are thick beasts, right. And it's meant for a different crowd. So getting in some gaming across the
I literally have this portable PC.
Yeah.
To make ray tracing possible, but you can just take GeForce Now and just bring it wherever you go.
Totally, yeah. It definitely reduces the weight when traveling. Speaking of something that is happening in the PC world, Steam Machine is delayed.
Yes.
That is a knock on what we were expecting because it was supposed to arrive in Q 2026. Kevin, when's it coming out now? That's a little bit. I hope it's good news because they're retooling it hopefully and then making it even better. But is that more of a it's not good enough to launch right now, or do you detect problems?
It's a totally bad thing that's happening right now. There's Ramageddon. There's Ramageddon or the RAM crisis where you can't find any RAM, can't find any memory, and that's causing prices to increase on components, and that's also why it's been delayed. It's been delayed from Q1 2026 to like first half, so like hopefully by June. So
it's not like a GTA 6 where it's like we want to make this even better. No. It's more of a resources problem, which that is definitely a negative thing. Did they ever give us a price on this?
No.
That is the problem right there.
That's also another problem. Its price might go up.
The fact that companies, there was a theorized price out there from Linus Tech Tips, and it seemed a little expensive. It probably is going to be even more expensive than that theorized price, just because this RAM crisis is touching all the consoles. The PS5 went up in price last year. It's going to be more expensive than anybody really wants. So I don't love that. No, it's and this applies to both the machine and the VR headset.
Yeah, the Steam frame.
The frame.
Yeah, which was said to be cheaper than Index, which was like a $2,000 headset, but that gives like a lot of leeway for the price to go up or down depending on how the RAM goes.
Yeah, that's a little bit frightening. Hopefully it comes out sooner rather than later. Yeah, push back to the first half of the year. So it's supposed to come out in like the first 3 months of 2026. Now, it may be, at the midway point. So, all right, let's speed through the last two stories as we usually do, or an hour-long show that happens daily. So subscribe on theshortcut.com for notifications about the next one. Spotify begins selling physical books in partnership with bookshop.org. Max, is this kind of like trying to take on what Amazon is doing? I know Spotify has been encroaching on new mediums. They have podcasts now. Obviously, they've had that for a couple of years. Now they're getting into selling physical books, which is fascinating. It's like, another arrow pointed at Amazon.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So the Spotify, I guess, sees a lot of people are interested in still reading physical books. They want to compete with Amazon to some extent on the Kindle side of things. So they partnered with bookshop.org in the US and the UK to sell physical books like through the Spotify app. So you can like go through Spotify to buy physical books now. You can read these books, and then if you want to coincide it and sync it with an audiobook, you can read the physical book, you can scan the page that you're on in the physical book in the Spotify app, and then pick up where you left off in the audiobook version of said book. So it's like this weird physical to digital relationship sort of thing. It's kind of like Whisper Sync. If like on the Amazon Kindle, you can sync an ebook with an audiobook. Spotify wants to take that to physical books. So it's kind of interesting to me. I don't know how many people are going to do this.
Yeah, I've done it once. Okay. Like I was reading a psychology book and I was reading it on the train, reading it wherever. And then sometimes when I when I work out, I can't read a book while I'm on the treadmill.
Sure.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So I have the audiobook playing, and then I just sync back. Well, this is actually more for like a Kindle. So
Right.
like wherever the book would read up to on the audiobook, it would catch up on the Kindle,
Right.
put me right there on the same page.
Yeah, so it can on Kindle, everything just syncs perfectly. So there's like a little bit extra work to sync it with a physical book, obviously. And then it'll tell you if you want to go back from the audiobook to the physical book, it'll tell you which page to flip to. So there's a lot of back and forth you can do with it. It's kind of interesting. It'll be an interesting experiment to see how successful it is.
You know what I like about it? It's something different. Speaking of different, let's roll our last story. This one's from JLab, and they unveiled some ridiculous headphones. This is not an April Fool's. We are in February. It's not quite April yet.
It's February 5th, and these headphones do exist.
Scales of
very
like you have to see it next to a person. Like you can see that they have ridiculous giant blue XL headphones. They're putting the XL at the forefront right there. Max, tell us about this, how much it costs. And
these are some wild headphones. So they're just gigantic headphones that double as like a regular Bluetooth speaker. So you can just like have these around. So you can wear them if you want to, or you just like put them on a table. You can jam out to your favorite songs. They have 30 watts of output. There's like 2.5 inch drivers. They last for 20 hours on a full charge, Bluetooth 5.4. It has USB-C and everything. They're $100. So it's really not like a crazy purchase. I was just telling Kevin before we went on the air, I was like, I should buy these for the office just so that we have them. Because I feel like that would be a lot of fun.
I think when we just replace our studio headphones with these.
So we all just have giant ass
headphones. And we don't say anything. We just keep rolling with the next episode.
We are reporters, and we're doing, good reporting. We have a good ethics policy. We're also wearing these big headphones. We have a legal team. We probably have HR. Once again, we have these big ass headphones on. Why not? Let's just do it.
I'm just wondering if I have to pay for physical therapy afterwards, because like we'll all have like a kink in our neck, right? Depending on how heavy these are to wear. Right, because they're really taking like that Sony field speaker that we have in the office and just jamming them on each ear, and your neck is holding that up. We'll have to see what the weight is and test those out.
I wonder
it could be a
if
lot
you
of fun
can
for $100.
just wear them, because it looks like everybody's just holding them.
It doesn't look like you can. You can definitely do like the neck look if you want to look cool and like jam out and stuff.
We could 3D print a head brace. That'll look really cool with the giant headphones.
All right, we're going to wrap up our show. I know we're at time, but come join us again. Rewind to that Super Bowl 60 tech behind the scenes that Sony was taking me through. That was a cool invite. Next year, we'll get Max out here. I swear. We'll try.
We still have the Delta points to get out.
That's the important part, right? It's all about the points game. But join us. We are an hour-long video show every single day. We haven't missed a day. We're on 17 right now. And we started streaming during CES, but we've been consistent since we got to that New York office, which is going used by Kevin and Max. I will be back in that studio next week, but we'll be back tomorrow doing another live video show on theshortcut.com, the #1 consumer tech site on Substack. So if you're watching on X, Instagram, or YouTube, come join us. Sign up for our Substack, then support us, do it for free, whatever. We always love seeing you in the comments and me losing dollars because these guys got to get paid and got to eat. So, but we'll be back again with another consumer tech show in 23 hours. So we will see you then.
Fantastic.
Bye.
See ya.